Them having to pay a luxury tax. Here's a little back and forth.
That have provided NIL opportunity for players. Jalen Weidemeyer had an endorsement deal with a local mattress company. TexAg, our company, we had guys that did interviews, exclusive interviews, and were paid as much as $10,000 for them. We had others that were paid $1,000. So
yeah. So what I'm trying to say though is I don't think Lane Kiffin.
If you're
what I'm asking you,
$30 million slush fund that A&M offering recruits to come here. I
don't think that anybody's made that. I don't think Lane Kiffin was saying that though. I don't think Lane Kiffin said. It's been reported by Sliced Bread, right?
That's where it started.
I think with Lane,
what Lane Kiffin said. Well, listen, if we're, I'm not here to argue.
I'm not arguing.
Lane Kiffin said A&M should have to pay a luxury tax for all the money that they're paying their recruits. So,
well, that's not right. He should have said that. I agree with you.
Well, that's exactly what he said. That's what was the last straw of Jimbo Fisher.
I think that Coach Saban, maybe because I heard everything he said, was saying that they need to do something. I don't think he was talking about Texas A&M. I don't think he was. Well, I think saying. I think that's what he's saying. I agree with it totally. Yes, I do.
So that we have a disagreement there.
Yeah. I don't think we have any disagreement anywhere. Really.
Even though just remember that it was last July at the Texas Coaching School where Nick Saban was talking about Bryce Young getting, I think it was $1 million in NIL.
Right.
Yeah, that was right before SEC Media Days. That eventful back and forth.
No, that was at Baumhauer's not long ago.
No. He is referencing Nick Saban's conversation with the Texas.
They are so defensive
schools.
about all this. It's unbelievable.
That's it. That's exactly where I was going.
I mean, So you're saying that none of this happened. This is all cannon fodder. That's crazy.
Everything's on the up and up.
Yeah, I don't believe that. So there you go.
Jimbo certainly came out barking after Coach Saban.
But I kind of agree with the old ball coach. He can start barking when he wins something. At Texas A&M. And he destroyed the program. He did win a national championship at Florida State and then destroyed the program and left.
Here's a little bit of what ran This Just In. Do you watch this program? I do not.
Watch what program? No.
It's a program called This Just In.
No.
Max Kellerman is your host. Here is a little bit of Nick Saban as well as Kirby Smart.
You said they bought their recruiting jobs.
I didn't say anybody did anything wrong, okay? And I've said everything I'm going to say about this. I have no problem with Jimbo. I have no problem with Jimbo at all.
At the end of the day, sometimes things get heated. You'd rather it not be in the public arena. But at the end of the day, things like that happen. I mean, you guys should be on the headphones sometime. You would think that was Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I can imagine being on the headphones at a game with all the stress of that. Yeah. So, this is all about nothing, though. This is what we're going to talk about for the next 6 months.
No, it really isn't. I think the more pressing issue moving forward, honestly, is about the number of games that will be played in the Southeastern Conference. And honestly, probably even the more private conversations that we will not be privy to is more or less handling future schedules once Texas and Oklahoma are officially into the Southeastern Conference. I think those are some of the preliminary conversations that are going to take place this week.
Well, now that's interesting to see what they'll really do.
Yeah.
Because everybody's already reporting they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and this is this, and it's kind of like last year when they said we'd have a 12-team playoff. I'll believe it when it's done and signed. Because who knows when Oklahoma is going to be and Texas are going to be here. For real. They got contracts through 2026, don't they?
No. 2025 is the absolute latest year that they could come in.
Yeah, but they're playing chicken with everybody's playing
Yep.
chicken.
Yeah,
But
the
we
buyout
know it's
money.
not going to be next year, though.
The buyout money.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, because the new teams are entering into the Big 12 next year. So
Coming in, so Central Florida, we'll have UCF will have
Yep.
games next year. This coming year.
no, 2023.
Okay. So I got you.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
There. Coming up on the program today, in hour number 2, we will talk a little baseball as Gabe Gross, the hitting coach and assistant coach of the Auburn Tigers, is going to join us as Auburn gets ready to play host to a regional. First time that the Tigers are going to play host to a regional since 2010. Congratulations to the Auburn baseball team on that accomplishment. And we'll talk to Gabe Gross coming up in hour number 2. Later on here in hour number 1, we will talk to Houston Nutt. Quite a bit to chew on with the former Arkansas and Ole Miss head football coach. Kirby Smart said more than just Mickey Mouse quotes. This is what the Georgia head football coach had to say today.
Like stuff that coaches are going to vote on and recommend up the ladder, and what specific stuff like the schedule or anything else?
I don't think I get into specifics. There's obviously a purpose to every meeting, and we have an agenda, and we have ideas of things, but it could be anything from rules, regulations in terms of the way we play the game, making sports safer, to enhancing the experience for student athletes, everything. So you know what's on the docket. There's a lot of things up to talk about in our game that have changed, so I'm not really referencing anything specifically, just making our game better.
Kirby, 3 years ago, we're referring back to, I think we were talking about the LSU game, and I think as a student athlete you talked about that being one of your memories and wanting to see your players play more games. You said at the time you were in favor of a 9-game model. Has anything changed with that? Is that still a more priority in your viewpoint on that?
I'm always excited to have great matchups. You have to walk a fine line. I don't think there's a coach in his right mind that's going to say it. In a perfect world, I think it's 8 games, 9 games, because there's so much more involved than just what the coach wants. There's a lot to do with television contracts. There's a lot to do with making sure everybody gets to play, a fair schedule. It's hard when you look at it and you look at the options out there. There's a lot of options. I'm for what gives the student athlete the best experience of being in our conference. We've got 2 more teams on the horizon, and that changes the dynamic as well. So there's nothing wrong with the 9-game schedule, but that may not be the best thing for the conference right now. So I think it's a lot more about who you play in those other games than necessarily a 9-game schedule. And we've been very aggressive in terms of scheduling and trying to schedule opponents out in the future that make great matchups, because I want the University of Georgia to play in big games. So whether that's an extra SEC game or another Power 5 opponent that attracts our fan base and excites our fan base, then so be it. But I don't have a stance in terms of this is what's best or that's what's best, because it changes as our conference changes.
Kirby, you've had a lot of success in the SEC East. Obviously, there's a future possibility of new divisions. What are your thoughts on that? And do you have any thoughts on the 3 permanent rivals if they go in that direction?
I think there's a lot of options on the table, probably more than you guys even mentioned. But I'm not into whether we have divisions, pods, permanent rivals. I'm into what's best for our conference. And that's long-term what's best for our conference, what gives us the best opportunity to create national champions, and not trying to look at it through a straw of only what's best for Georgia, because sometimes those two are hard to coexist. If you try to keep 14 or 16 teams happy, there's not a model for that, right? Somebody's going to have something they dislike within that model. So it it's about the student athletes and their experience more so than just the schedule.
Is that hard to figure out what's best when you're not entirely sure what the CFP format is beyond 2025?
Probably, but again, we can change that within conference anytime we need to. So it's really just more about what we think fits best for the model moving forward. I'm excited about the potential to have two teams. I'm excited about the leadership within our conference that helps make those decisions. They have the hardest decisions to make, guys, because they've got 14 members that are not going to all agree on one thing. I'm smart enough in politics to know that you're not going to have 14 of your constituents all out there clapping and happy. So there has to be a method of madness, and somebody has to make the ultimate decision on what's best. And I just think long term, having been in this conference for 28 years in some way, shape, or form, that it's the best conference there is. So let's keep it that way.
As a guy who grew up watching SEC football, played it, has worked in the league, the idea of playing Oklahoma and Texas as conference opponents, like, what is that? When you think about that, is it still a little crazy?
I don't think about it because I'm worried about the opponents I got to play this year. I mean, it's easier for you guys to fantasize all the way out and think about those matchups. It never crosses my mind because I'm concerned with the schedule I got. I'm worried about Oregon, and that's just the truth. So does it excite me that our conference is growing and it could become stronger? Absolutely, but I'm not thinking for 1 second about a 2025 schedule right now.
Speaking of Oregon, you've worked and obviously mentored with a lot of great coaches during your career. For Dan specifically, to go from being a GA in 2015 with you guys and him and Sophia having their situation financially at that time, to 7 years later being a two-time Royals finalist and a head coach, how would you describe how he was able to do that?
Hard work. I mean, he slept on floors in offices. He drove thousands of miles to get job opportunities. He was a high school coach that had a dream, and he realized the dream because of his hard work. And, I like to think in our profession that if you work really hard, you're smart, you catch on with the right people, that you can be successful. And Dan's paved his own way. He's done more for the people he worked for than the people who worked for him, that he worked for that did for them. So he's really an incredible worker, enthusiastic, buys in, and got a great.
Was about the Oregon head football coach Dan Lanning, who certainly rose through the ranks, going from sleeping on the floor in the facility there at the University of Georgia to now being the head coach at Oregon. This after Mario Cristobal took over the reins down in Miami. So, a little interesting back and forth there from Kirby Smart, the Georgia head football coach. Potential of some news coming out, as at least according to my rundown from, because technically I've got a credential down there for this spring meetings, so I get these email and text alerts that Commissioner Greg Sankey will be made available to the media in 9 minutes. So I'll certainly put a flyer out there as to see what is going on down there on the beach. But if he can't be at the beach, we're at the next best place to be.
No question. At the Furniture Factory. It's like a place at the beach, but in Huntsville.
Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Coach Houston Nutt will join us in about 20 minutes, and we'll also talk a little baseball in hour number 2.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Did you know that your car, truck, or SUV may be worth over 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we'd love your trade-in for a personalized custom factory order on a 2022 Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, or F1. We interrupt this message to announce our $1,000 appreciation cash reward. Attention all active military, reservists, retirees, and all veterans, plus first responders, police, fire department, EMTs, and medical professionals. An appreciation for making Huntsville the great city it is. You'll receive a $1,000 exclusive reward in addition to any public offers on most all 22 Fords. So please come see us today. Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. At Woody Anderson Ford, whether it's a new order or a pre-owned, we promise to always do the right thing. Corner of Jordan and Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options, from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Outdoor season is coming. Can't wait.
Here at Brooks & Collier, neither can we. Outdoor season is also grilling season.
And we have plenty of grills and smokers in stock, from Traeger, Blaze, and Big Green Egg.
There's the greenhouse, new indoor items and home furnishings as well.
Whatever it takes. Browse over 2 acres of furnishings. Can't wait.
How about you? North Alabama's indoor and outdoor living headquarters for over 75 years.
813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
When the most respected company worldwide puts its name on a real estate sign, that's a sign you'll want to see. When a company known for straight talk enters real estate, that's a sign the market is changing. Confidence is back, and that's good to know. Introducing Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Look for our sign in a front yard near you.
This is Ann Adams. Call me at 256-337-2625.
An independently owned and operated franchisee of BHH Affiliate, LLC.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Going to be a late night for us here out at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, because you need to come on by. One, check out Pedro's Authentic Mexican Feast. There's no doubt about that. Also, you can karaoke with Jen, but you can also catch some Braves baseball. A late night tonight. First pitch for Braves baseball is 8:40 tonight, as they are in the desert taking on the Diamondbacks. Charlie Morton on the mound, as the Braves are 3 games back of 500, 9.5 games back of first place. How are you, Jen?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Good to be back here.
In all this heat?
Well, kind of par for the course, isn't it?
I mean, welcome to summer.
But the fans
Happy summer.
The fans are going back here.
This is true. This is and heat makes you thirsty.
How's that? It does, doesn't
it? Makes you crave salt.
Yes,
right?
It does, right.
And we've got the best nachos in town. How's that sound?
They are amazing. Had nachos before. Had this little steak delivered that I've been craving. Yes.
That looks really good.
Yes.
Doesn't it though?
Oh, yes.
Well, welcome to summer.
Yes.
Are y'all doing okay?
We're doing good.
I didn't catch up with you in a while. I missed y'all last week.
Yes. So
yeah,
baseball.
we were out last week because of baseball.
Oh, what a shame.
So tell us what's happening at the factory this
Oh,
week.
we've got a really special night tomorrow night. You know, it's our Wild West Wednesday. So we are doing we've got such an exciting night. Last year, you know, our Jeepers raised around $12,000 for a precious little child. His name was Bracken. And he's the son of Amanda and Jeff. And he's a survivor, like one of those cancer survivors. And so we're going to give a $12,000 check to St. Jude tomorrow in his honor. Isn't
that is awesome.
great?
That is awesome.
So we're going to celebrate with the bull. We're going to celebrate with
So
tequila.
where do they put the bull?
They put him kind of in the middle there. He's kind of the showstopper.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Have you ridden the bull yet?
No, I'm always in a dress. I mean.
Oh, details,
I'm just
details.
saying, right? You know, no, but I need to. But I've had those before. What's a bull? You know, I
Yeah.
had the real thing. Why would you ride the mechanical bull?
Just the real thing will kill you.
I know, right? Okay. Well, that's true. But tomorrow night's going to be a super fun night. So we're going to celebrate with this family. Doesn't that sound great?
That sounds great.
We're hoping we have a good turnout.
And what time does that start?
You know, we're going to start it off. We're going to have our little wings. We do wings and we do like our loaded tots. So we'll do that around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So we want everybody to come out and join us with this sweet family. So, and St. Jude's, it's a great organization.
It is an awesome organization.
Isn't it?
There is
Yes.
no doubt about that.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
and we've got, I think it's Eric Taylor that's playing tomorrow night. So he's just awesome and will give us a great country show. You know, so if you go, you get food, a show, great charity,
And you can
and
hop
call
on
it
the
a
bull.
night.
That's
And you can
right.
hop on the bull. Entertainment
Yeah, right.
for all. How's that?
It sounds great.
And then we've got a little bit of a quiet weekend, but we've got excitement on the stage. So we've got our bike night. So, you know, we're still doing Fusion Barbecue. Have you been there yet?
Yes, I have. It's very good.
Isn't it fun?
Yes.
It's a little bit of a fun place. It's got a great vibe, and they have great food. People have enjoyed their food here. So we've got our bike night, and then Friday and Saturday are going to be super nights. Our Friday night is 347. We do not have a cover that night, so everybody come on and just enjoy. Won't that be great? I've
Yes.
got our VIP already sold for that night. I'm not sure about Saturday night yet, but Saturday night is our Smokey Jones and the $3 pistols.
So what does Smokey Jones sing?
What does he sing?
Yeah.
You know, I would say country rock. Doesn't that
Yes.
sound good?
Yes, it does.
It's kind of dance music with a little bit of country vibe, a little bit of rock vibe.
Yeah.
So that's a super night, you know? Get out and enjoy if you're not at the beach or if you're coming home from the beach. I hear everybody's at the beach this week. Don't you want to go to the beach?
Usually we do go to the beach.
We are usually on our way to the beach.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
This is the first Monday I've been here in 15 years. Normally I'm at the beach
Wow.
this time of year. I'm
Yeah.
so sad.
Well, I'll tell you,
Today's
coming back soon.
Yeah. It is kind of bittersweet for us too because today is usually the day we're at Coach Dye's place.
Oh,
yeah.
do you know? Have you heard my story with Coach Dye?
No, please tell
Oh
me.
my goodness, my most embarrassing moment. Okay, and I have a lot of those. Okay, I was new to football, right? And I was from Pennsylvania, so I
Right.
was new to especially Coach Dye. So one night we had friends that invited us to stay at his home and then go to the game the next
Right.
day. I didn't know he was such a celebrity, but at the same time, I didn't know he's just grandpa, right?
Right,
He's
exactly.
just-
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
You don't know.
And
you know?
we stayed there every time.
Okay, we
yeah.
do too, right? So here I am, newlywed, and we get there late at night, so I hadn't met him. Well, the next morning, I'm kind of one of these, I snap my finger and everybody moves, and I'm one of these, So the cooks were in the kitchen, and I'm snapping away, and this older guy comes in, and I'm like, look, we are out of a lot of things here. We need more biscuits, we need more sorghum, we just even need more grits, and he shuffled around, and yeah, okay, I guess we do, and so I'm ordering him left and right, and it's this long
Garçon.
banquet table,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then the media comes, and I guess they do some kind of a thing, and he disappeared for a minute, and I'm like, now where'd he go? We need more of silverware. Where's all that now? And we got to eat breakfast. We got to get going. So we all sit at the table, and they somehow put me right next to this old guy. And of course, it was him, but I didn't know that. So we sit there, and when they introduced me to Coach Dye, I nearly died that I've been ordering this coach around for the last hour.
Oh, he loved every minute of
Breakfast.
it.
Yeah, he does.
So needless to say, he had pity on me and allowed me to come down
He
to the
loved every minute
to
of
the
it.
game. But I
I
must
guarantee
say,
it.
he's a humble man
Very humble.
and humored me for the whole morning, unbeknownst to me. And I'll never do that again.
We miss Coach Dye.
Yes, we do.
Mm-mm. Anyway.
That's a good story.
That's a good story.
Oh, too many embarrassing moments.
So let's talk about real quick the Haven.
Yes, we've got reunions coming up. I've got weddings, rehearsal dinners. June is a busy month for us.
And
yes.
So how do that? What if they want to rent the Haven for their event? How do they get in touch with
Yes,
you?
they can get in touch with me by email, jennifer.j.kaufman@gmail.com. Our email address for Haven is thehavenal.com, and they can look it up that way. But June is a great month for that kind of stuff. So I'm happy to give a tour and show everyone Haven. So it's kind of a little hidden gem here in Huntsville.
It really is.
Isn't it?
It's a great place to have an event.
It is. So, and I'm glad to say that our June is going to be a great month this month. So,
Outstanding.
yeah,
Thank you, Jen.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Always great to talk with you.
And now, tequila.
Let's, on that note, take our final time out. Coach Houston Nutt is set to join us on the other side as we are live here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Of all the multitudinous manifestations that water can take, in oceans and ice cubes, in glaciers and streams, vapors and rain, double black diamonds, lap swims, and brains. Of all that water everywhere, only 0.5% is fresh water available for human use. That's why at Moen, we're innovating to save 1 trillion gallons of water by 2030. Discover Mission Moen at moen.com.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me. As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s, dropping into the mid and upper 60s through the overnight. We're going to repeat this process as we head into your Wednesday. A mostly sunny sky. Temperatures again climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. An isolated shower might be possible on Wednesday afternoon. Don't hold your breath. Most of us going to stay dry. Better opportunity for rain moves into the Tennessee Valley as we head into your Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and I appreciate what you guys do and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. 1 minute ago, Brett McMurphy tweets out LSU head football coach said that SEC commission off when the current contract runs out in 2025, saying, quote, he left it open when he gets to June where they will begin some conversations with other conference commissioners.
Nah, they shouldn't do that. I mean, I don't care what, that's not.
Sankey also joked with the media to start off his session about 10 minutes ago down in Sandustin that former Ole Miss and Duke head football coach David Cutcliffe's new title is Special Assistant to the Commissioner for Football Relations, was directly copied from Joe Torre's role as he was Special Assistant to the Commissioner of Major League Baseball. Let's head out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, talk to a former SEC coach at two stops at Arkansas and at Ole Miss, as Coach Houston Nutt is kind enough to join us. How are you, Coach?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing real well. Do you happen to be down on the beach?
No. I'm in McKinney, Texas.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
There's probably some sand out there.
Not as white as Destin, I can tell you.
No, that's no doubt about that.
100% truth right there.
So, Coach, did you hear what they're talking about? That Sankey mentioned having an all SEC playoff instead of. Don't you think that's just negotiating? A little negotiating there.
Yeah. I just heard that. When y'all just read it. Just first time I heard that. That's that's interesting right now. I tell you what, y'all have had a lot to talk about this summer. As Coach Spurrier says, it's talking time. Y'all have had a lot of good talking time.
Well,
it's been a long time since you had.
I keep waiting for an off-season coach, and we haven't had one in about 2 decades.
I know it. Wow.
It's been a long time since we had two coaches going to the mic and verbally assaulting each other.
Woo. Oh, mercy. I know it. Wow. That's something else.
One right there in the state of Texas. That press conference a couple of weeks ago was unlike anything I've seen in quite a while, Coach, there at College Station.
Same here. I remember turning it on, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, is this live? And is this for real? And, boy, the more I listened to it, I figured out it's very real. And I know Commissioner Sankey didn't like it. And, you know how sometimes when coaches go around in the spring, you get in when you're on the spring circuit, the speaking tour, it's easy sometimes, you're with your alums, your boosters, and I've been guilty before, too. You say one or two things you probably shouldn't have said, and I'm sure Coach Saban regretted putting of course, he's already apologized for putting the name of Texas A&M out there. But it really surprised me because, again, I didn't know. I thought Coach Saban and Coach Fish, they've worked together before. I went against them when they were at LSU and when they were on the same team. And so Jimbo Fisher was pretty, very, very passionate coming back the way he came back. And so hopefully, they can get all that behind him. It's not a good look. You don't want that. And you just got two highly competitive guys. And, boy, there's some real feelings that were thrown out there, in color.
Yeah. That felt as close to, I mean, he certainly opened up the door of, hey, go dig into his past. It felt very personal, that press conference, Coach.
It really did. It really did. I heard it and heard it really twice. And, again, I like when coaches, stand up for their program. And again, we go back and we've talked about that. I've been on your show last year, and when I told y'all that I was anxious to be on the sideline with my popcorn and Coke, watching how this NIL plays out. And you and I, we both said, you can't believe it because there's really the rules and the boundaries. They're not any. And so now you want to make rules and boundaries with this NIL, and I just think that horse is already down the road. And so I got my popcorn Coke. I'm still waiting. How's this going to play out when you try to reel some of this back in and you start trying to make rules now? And so I think it's very hard. I just don't like the NIL. I want players to have money. I really do. I want them to have money. And that's why I like the cost of attendance deal, where it's over $5,000 that they get. Some of them add another Pell Grant, another $5,500 on top of that. All you want to eat, and tutors, and room and board, all of that. It's a good time to be a student athlete. But, well, you got NIL, and then you add portal. It's got to be hard to manage. It has to be really very, very hard every single day. Not only manage, but now manage your team, because your own players are going to start looking over the fence now.
There is no doubt about that. One thing that did catch my eye earlier this month, the Division I Council eliminating the 25-man initial counter limit for the next 2 years, otherwise known as the Houston Nut Rule. How you feel about that there, Coach?
You know what? I really wish I could sit back down with the athletic director and the president back when they scolded me so hard that they said I really embarrassed them. And I said, how? You signed 37 kids? Yeah. But I know the rule. I know, but in August, I can only have 25 that are going to be eligible and ready to go. So you're going to jerk away scholarships from it? No. Mississippi had – I've never been in a state where you got 16 or more junior colleges.
Yeah.
And to build that relationship, I thought it was such a good idea to say, hey, listen, we're going to commit to you. We're going to encourage you. You go get that degree. We're going to sign you on sign-a date because we believe in you. And that gave us really a leg up. Nobody else would sign them because they knew they wouldn't be eligible. So now the Houston Nut Rule, it's all back. It's back again, guys.
You're just ahead of your time.
Yes. But I got scolded now. I got really scolded and lambasted. I just couldn't believe that I embarrassed the school. And I said, now, Nick, I think he signed 30, which is 5 over. That's okay. Nobody got mad at him. I signed 37 for the first time. And, again, I can tell you exactly who's going to be eligible. And so I don't know. I'm kind of glad to see that rule come back because I understand it because you're trying to manage it, and you won't, especially now with the transfer portal.
Yeah, and keeping the players on your own roster. Yeah. I can't imagine how difficult of a task that is because you're also trying to woo that next class to plant some seeds down the line, Coach.
No, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And it's an unbelievable juggling act right now for the head coach. You got to do a great job. Top to bottom staff has got to be on point. And I tell you, when you coach hard, and I always try to tell players, hey, listen, off the field, we're going to talk about how many fish you caught and your mom and dad and girlfriend and however. But when you're on the field, we're going to coach you hard. And I can see now where coaches will probably say, I don't know if I better coach him too hard because he may go put his name in the transfer portal. I can't afford to lose this guy. So, now you got that going on. If something doesn't go right in the scrimmage, Johnny can say, I'm going to go over here and put my name in the portal. I might not only have a better chance to play over here, but also may get a better NIL deal. So I'm really kind of down on that.
Well, I agree. I mean, so one thing Coach Saban has said, and a Pell Grant's a grant. It's not income. What's going to happen is they're going to start paying these players, and you're going to have accountants and all kind of different things for them to do their taxes and how's that going to be treated if they're a student? Is that going to go to the parents' income? Is that going to affect what they get? I mean, there's so many questions that are going to. I mean, this is the wild, wild west.
Well,
and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, and you look at the fact that people are promising NIL money for you to sign to college. That's not what it was meant to be. It's meant to be to people sell their name, image, and likeness
that they earned at the school.
Yeah, well, no, that they earned as far as representing companies, being able to promote yourself and sell yourself, not the school sell you for them, right?
Exactly right. And again, guys, I know we talked about this last year. My years are running together now, but I know that we've hashed it. We saw this coming. We saw it. And now it's right in front of you, and you're exactly right. You make such a good point. Now you better have an accountant. You better have a guy that's really understanding now. Ooh, wait a minute, I'm getting such and such money here, and taxes and this and that. And you got all of that going on, and I just think it's a nightmare. I really do. I think it's a nightmare when you start getting so hung up in that. If you just want to make it semi-professional football, okay, go ahead. That's not college. Go ahead and make it semi-pro if that's what you want. But what I hate about it is also it's not everybody in that locker room. You're talking about 125 young men on your team. And the Darren McFadden's, your superstar, they're going to get there. No question about it. They're going to get it. And you want them to get it. But it's the left tackle who blocks for him. It's the tight end who blocks for him. He's not going to get anything. And then you promise these young men out of high school. That's a whole nother deal now. Now you're promising these guys out of high school, hey, come over here. We're going to do this, this, and this. And I can see where it can really go south. Now the one that had the deal with the running back, he got hurt. They really don't want him because they don't ever see him. He's in the training room the whole time. We want the other running back. We want him to sign an NIL deal. And so you have all this going on, and how do you keep up with all that?
I talking with Coach Houston. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Much less. Are you getting enough catches in? Are you getting enough throws in? Are you really committing? You've been spending a lot of time looking for that next NIL deal. Are you truly committed in the weight room now? Because the year before you looked like you caught a whole lot more balls than this year because you're looking out here and fishing for all these deals. That's to me another thing is now you're into business way before your time.
Well, we've also talked about a former athlete of yours that played at Boise State, and Brian Harsin, and really his offseason has not really mirrored anybody else out there on what he has gone through. But I've been thoroughly impressed of how he has handled himself, Coach, ever since what happened there in January.
Absolutely, and I would expect nothing less. He'll have blinders on, and he's going to work from daylight to exhaustion, no doubt about it. And you have to. That's a very tough job. And you're in the same state as one of the greatest teams in America. And all your alums, they want to be in that spot. And they expect big things at Auburn. And so you got to do a great job. And he has done everything. I've been watching too. He's done everything very well with everything that he's been through and all the negativity. I tell you what, he's done a good job. He's getting a real dose of it right here now. You're talking about laps around the track and wisdom and experience that a book can't teach you. at being in that head seat at this time, at such a time as this. Woo! You gotta roll up your sleeves right here, and everybody in that room, from trainers to managers, everybody got to be in unison. Got to have one heartbeat.
When's the last time you talked to Coach Harsin, Coach?
It's really been probably a couple of years. I mean, almost. I hadn't talked to him maybe right before he got the Auburn job.
I mean,
he's been busy. He's been too busy.
Yeah, yes. There is no doubt that he has been busy there, Coach.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I was thoroughly impressed with his first year. I mean, to go 6-7 with that team down on the Plains.
Well, losing your starting quarterback.
Yeah, then you lose your starting quarterback, and
he was doing really well to that happen.
That's right. That's right. And those things happen. But again, nobody wants to hear about who you lost, who got hurt. They want to win. Everybody wants to win. So, and that's where balancing that recruiting and balancing your lineup of having depth, O-line, D-line, secondary, quarterback especially, boy, is so crucial to be able to use the word next with the injury is so important, and especially in a tough schedule when you're in the SEC. Now you're even talking about conversation shifting to adding another conference game.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get tougher, which I see that coming. I think that'd be good, though.
So, Coach, one time we had Jerry Glanville say that when you become a head coach, you lose a lot of your friends because a lot of your friends want you to hire them.
Right.
And if you hire your friends, you won't be head coach for long. What?
Well, there's a lot.
Well,
go ahead.
No, just what do you think about that saying?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. I had some good relationship with my coaches, but they also knew, hey, listen, I hire you to do a job. And even though I had some good, close friends, and going back to Murray State, I went to Murray State with a lot of my coaches, went to Boise State with a lot of the same group, and went from Boise State to Arkansas with just about almost the same staff. And a lot of those guys were good friends. We kind of grew up in the ranks together, and some of them were grad assistants when I was coaching at different places, and you develop. I know what they're about. So I like knowing what they're about. When you lose, what are they about? Their work ethic, what are they about? And how they handle their family, all of those things. So I like that. And they got to know that we're getting paid to win. They want us to graduate our players. They want us to be involved in the community. But the bottom line is, guys, got to win. And so your guys got to perform. And everybody's the head coach at their position.
Would you sign up for a head coaching position if it was the right fit right now for you, Coach?
My window's probably shut. I've tried a few times, and, at the age of 64, I feel like I got the energy of a 30-year-old. But with search firms and, I think Mac Brown, going back to North Carolina, there was a relationship. And he won there, and there was great relationships. When you know the athletic director and the administration, that's one thing. You'll get a chance. I think the days of over 60 hiring, I don't see that. I don't see that. So I really have turned the page. I'm just thankful for CBS. I get to watch a lot of games. Don't ever lose. Don't ever have that knot in my stomach when we lose.
Undefeated, Coach. Yeah, that's right. Undefeated.
Undefeated. I just got to make sure the pronunciations and make sure I'm saying the right names and all that. I do. Hey, I do respect TV people a whole lot more than when I was coaching because I didn't. I just thought some of them just showed up, but there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Well, Coach, we sincerely appreciate the time. Enjoy some of that summer, and we'll definitely talk to you as we get closer at SEC Media Days.
That sounds good, guys. Y'all take care.
That is Coach Houston Nutt joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Yes, the Houston Nutt rule is gone. And evidently he was scolded pretty good there by the people in charge over there at the University of Mississippi back when he signed 37.
I agree with him. I never saw the problem with that.
I still don't.
I know. I mean, you know, you can only give them so many scholarships. Alabama signs. They act like they're signing some people, and they don't get scholarships. What's the difference? There is none.
Much more to come. We will talk some Auburn baseball coming up in hour number 2, but your phone calls can be the feature on the other side at 256-576-4977.
Did you know that your car, truck, or SUV may be worth over 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we'd love your trade-in for a personalized custom factory order on a 2022 Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, or F1.
We interrupt this message to announce our $1,000 appreciation cash reward. Attention all active military, reservists, retirees, and all veterans, plus first responders, police, fire department, EMTs, and medical professionals. An appreciation for making Huntsville the great city it is. You'll receive a $1,000 exclusive reward in addition to any public offers on most all 22 Fords. So please come see us today.
Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. At Woody Anderson Ford, whether it's a new order or a pre-owned, we promise to always do the right thing. Corner of Jordan and Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal currently in the fourth set in their quarterfinal match of the French Open. Nadal right now 2-1 lead. And the fourth set even at 5-all. Match closing in on the 4-hour mark. Coco Gauff moving on to the Grand Slam semifinals for the first time in her career after beating fellow American Sloane Stephens in the quarters. Gauff won 7-5, 6-2 over Stephens. Edmonton Oilers, Colorado Avalanche open up their Stanley Cup Western Conference final tonight in Denver. Two teams have not met in the playoffs since 1998. Avalanche 2-1-0 against the Oilers during the regular season. ESPN NHL analyst Barry Melrose on Oilers' young star Connor McDavid.
He just beats you in a different way. He's got a great hand-eye coordination, sees the ice really well. He's a better passer than McKinnon. He doesn't play as physical a game as McKinnon, but he's fast. He'll stick his nose in. He's a great passer of the puck, sees the ice really well. All four corners, he can hit anybody anywhere. He really plays well. He's got good lines, combinations with him.
McDavid, the only player in Stanley Cup playoff history with more than 25 points and an overtime goal in his team's first 12 playoff games. Eastern Conference Final underway Wednesday night. Game 1 between the Lightning and Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Face-off Wednesday night from New York at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN TV. Rams, Aaron Donald telling the I Am Athlete podcast that he is at peace with his career. Donald indicating that his return for the 2023 season contingent on getting a new deal. Darnold signed through the 2024 season, but has no more guaranteed money left on his current deal.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Steph Curry, not saying that his legacy is not cemented, but 2 rings without Kevin Durant, because those two are going to always be linked together. It can get even better.
This and more, Wednesday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Coach Gabe Gross is going to join us in about 15 minutes' time. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey was asked about Jimbo versus Nick.
Keep some things in-house here. Did you feel like there was a message that needed to be gotten across in person after what happened 2 weeks ago?
I think before he ever showed up, there was a recognition of how we expect people to conduct themselves. It's a frustrating time. So if you back up, it's a frustrating time. That's not to defend or represent anything. I think everybody shares their opinions and perspectives. of anything I've encouraged. It is your responsibility as a leader is to talk about your players and your team universally.
There you go. That is the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, and Greg Sankey, not being very specific on Jimbo versus Nick, but I wouldn't expect anything less.
Absolutely.
The commissioner of the Southeastern Conference also said an 8-team playoff without automatic qualifiers is something we would consider.
That's a talking point. That is no negotiation. I mean, you're talking about ruining college football. That would do it. That'd be
An
the nail in the
8-team
coffin.
playoff
Yeah.
without qualifiers?
Yeah, that'd be.
That would be the worst thing for college football?
Yeah, no question.
Why?
An 8-team playoff with only SEC teams? Yes. It's not
Well,
a
it
national
wouldn't
playoff.
just be SEC teams.
That's what he said.
Come on now. It wouldn't just.
That's what he said, Steve. That's what they're
An
saying.
8-team college football playoff without automatic qualifiers. It would be multiple SEC teams. It wouldn't be 8.
Well, that's what they.
It
that
wouldn't
was,
be 8 SEC teams.
What? Who said
it? Would be 6.
Who would say
it? Would
that?
be 5.
No, but who said that? I mean,
Commissioner Greg Sankey.
No, well, somebody said misquoted him then, because he said an all SEC. We heard him say that today, an all SEC. It was the coach at LSU, the new coach at LSU, talking about all LSU playoff, all SEC playoff. That's what he said.
Yeah.
That was his quote. And that is what I'm saying is just talk. I mean, it's just something negotiating.
Yeah, and SEC only.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But
SEC
no, this is a different quote. 8-team playoff without automatic qualifiers is something we would consider.
Well, that'd be only the top 8 teams then. It'd be top 8. I don't have a problem with that. But I tell you who is. But you got to start somewhere, and you can't start where you want to be because they'll say, well, you're not negotiating. So, the automatic qualifiers, the Pac-12, 14 or whatever, they're not going for that, right?
No.
So,
Commissioner Sankey also addressing the elimination of divisions, says that there are multiple plans being discussed, one of which is the elimination of divisions. He was not specific on what year they would be implemented, but safe to say that it would probably coincide with the addition of Texas and Oklahoma. I think it's fair to assume that. Is an 8-team college football playoff without automatic qualifiers the way to maximize the most dollar for college football playoffs, for college football overall?
Well, yeah, the more games they play, the more money they're going to get.
Why not?
Because that don't mean the SEC will get more money. So you've got to look out for your conference because nobody else is. So that's what this is all about, negotiating the new contract and having power with what you're going to make. A college football playoff without the SEC would be they'd get less than 60 to 70% of what they would get with the SEC, Southeastern Conference. So I think that they formed all this alliance against the Southeastern Conference, and I think the Southeastern Conference is down in Destin flexing their muscle. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah. And they are in the driver's seat. There is no doubt about that.
Well, I like the 8-game playoff, and I would love for them to
more so than the 12.
Oh yeah, because the 12 too many. I said that when it came out, and I doubted it'd ever get done because it's too many games. Now it might have been a different reason they chose, but that too many games. More people we talked after that came out, the more started realizing, well, that's too many games for a college for a college guy to go to school and do that. In the end, more people make more money going to college than go to the NFL. In the end, the average football player in the NFL plays 2.5 years. I didn't make it 2.5 years in the NFL. I'm one of them. But then, you can't play football. If the average person plays 2.5 years, that college education is going to make you a lot more money than the NFL. So if you take the 2.5 years, now if you take, there's some people that break that streak. Who's the guy that caused the fumble in Texas? They all run together now. He's made over $150 million, something crazy like that, more than anybody.
Jeez.
Marcel Darius.
Yep.
Was a 3-star out of Birmingham. And I think he was on a roster at the end of last year. And he almost killed me in Wesley on his recruiting visit. He turned over almost the SUV.
Really?
Yeah, at Saban's house. We were on 2 wheels. On his side. That's how sad about that. Not on my side. Anyway.
You and accidents.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't had but one, really.
Really?
So anyway, they got to go to school is my point. And if you're not going to school, then you are cheating yourself in a huge way.
We'll find out more about this 8-team college football playoff without automatic qualifiers.
And that's self-explanatory. That's the top 8 teams.
No, I realize that, but this is something that we're getting from the SEC commissioner. I don't know if we're going to get the ringing endorsement from the ACC commissioner. Whoever the new Big 12 commissioner is, as Bob Bowlesby's on his way out. The brand new Pac-12 commissioner.
Well,
the
they're
Big Ten.
The Pac-12 and the Big Ten will, what are they going to call themselves? The Big 8, the Big 8 that has 12. That now, whatever the old Southwest Conference was, Texas and Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and Texas A&M are going to. Their 4 best teams are going to have their own.
So the one
they're
thing,
going to want an automatic qualifier. You know that.
I need to explore more of this, but at least from what I am hearing from people that I speak with, the fly in the ointment is not coming from the Big 12 or the Pac-12 or the Big 10. It's the Rose Bowl. And I don't know why the Rose Bowl has this aura over them.
They just want a night game. They want to guarantee to play their game at night so they can have the parade in the morning and the night game. Who cares? Let them play it in the night. Nobody cares. Who cares?
Well, they think they're...
Well, they're not going to have a say anyway. The Big Ten and Pac-12 are the ones...
the Rose Bowl has more to say about this, unfortunately, than...
They don't have a contract, though. So that's not the case. Now, the Pac-12
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Well, you can hear it all you want.
But people that I trust.
Well, Pac-12, they don't even... the Pac-12 and Big Ten might be covering them for them. But that'd be it.
I tell you what, Smokey Mike, instead of taking our break, let's hear from Jeff from the Borough before we head out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline and talk a little Auburn baseball. Jeff, what do you say, partner?
How you doing, guys?
Good. How you doing?
All right. Oh, not too bad. Just kind of another prep sports year wound down. Just kind of, hanging out, kind of, well, Auburn got in spot lose to Kentucky. Still got in, so I guess they still got in. They're hosting, correct?
Auburn is hosting.
Hosting, yeah. Well, what they get 13 seed, 12 seed, what they?
14, I believe.
14, yeah, real high seed there.
Be nice. Gabe Gross is about to be on the line.
Well, that's fine. Kentucky wasn't going to get in anyway unless they won the tournament, so they weren't that good. So, we beat Tennessee twice, and that's the only team in the SEC to do it. Nobody else did. So, Gabe Gross.
Well, you had them tied at 2 before Tennessee went off.
Well, that's true. I'm talking about the regular season. I ain't talking about the regular season. Gabe Gross couldn't beat Tennessee twice, so it's Kentucky did it. So me and Joan, maybe if they get in the Cross World Series, maybe me and Joni call them up, ask them how to do it, ask them how to beat Tennessee, because Gabe Gross can't do it. So but but everything like that.
You're just really hoping to put the kibosh on our next interview, aren't you?
Well, no, not really. I mean, there's only one softball team left, so we'll see how baseball goes. I mean, Tennessee's got to win it all, or it won't be a successful season for them. If they don't win it all, it's not a success.
Well, when's the last time the top seed won the baseball tournament?
1999, Miami.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
They got to win. They're the best. If they're the best, then win it.
Well, if it's that easy, then you'd be talking about last year's baseball team, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that.
Well, they've been backflipping, running the map all year long. So back it up. Come on, do something about it. Think you're so great. Back it up. Do something. Back it up. Y'all hang in there. Gabe Gross, hang in there, babe. Maybe you'll win a couple of regional. Hang in there, babe.
Lord of mercy.
Man, if Kentucky was still playing, I can understand it. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying anything. Congratulations, Auburn, right?
Congratulations certainly to the Auburn baseball squad, as they are indeed hosting their regional for the first time since 2010.
So how do you get chosen if you're 14th, though, to host a regional? So the top, how many teams
It's
are in
a
it?
selection process, and
So the top seeds don't get to host. It's just, I just wondering.
We can certainly talk about it.
Maybe how many teams make the NCAA baseball tournament? I don't even know that.
Top 16 seeds host, and it's 64 teams.
Well, there you go.
Overall.
So they're 14th seeds, so the top 16 seeds. There you go. You answered my question. Well, then Auburn absolutely, totally deserved it, and that's cool that they're getting up to host the tournament.
The bracket was released yesterday. There is the Stanford bracket, certainly the Knoxville bracket, which has Alabama State, the Campbell Camels, and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. The Chapel Hill bracket has North Carolina, Hofstra, VCU, and Georgia. The Coral Gables bracket features the U, Canisius, Arizona, and Ole Miss. There was a lot of contention on Ole Miss making the NCAA tournament and Alabama not making the tournament. The Hatties,
they didn't deserve to. They were one game away.
Hattiesburg bracket features the Owls of Kennesaw State. They're in the Atlanta metropolitan area. Army, Southern Miss, and LSU, as they are back in the NCAA tournament. The Gainesville bracket, Auburn, of course, in the NCAA tournament as well. Do we have Coach with us? You can just tell me in my ear. Oh. Well, that's why I told you I was taking the call to... Anyway, Auburn, nonetheless, just overall on the season, they were one and done there in Hoover against Kentucky, as reported right there. But now they get set to host the regional, as Coach Gabe Gross is kind enough to join us. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing good. We're just finishing up a team bonding activity here on beautiful Lake Martin and get ready to go start this regional on Friday.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about that.
We just, kids are out of school and we want to keep an eye on them. We met up here at Coach Thompson's house and had some food and took a little boat ride and just letting them be together.
Very nice.
Y'all weren't tubing, were you?
We were no tubing and no jumping off of high dives or anything like that.
Well, that is cool. So Chimney Rock. Y'all rode by there going about 25, didn't you? Nobody got out.
We waved at it as we went by.
Well, give me your perspective of the season, Coach.
Oh, man, it is. I feel like this group has been absolutely one of my favorites just because they got plenty of talent, obviously, but, they just fight and they're scrappy, and we've won some really tough series, especially on the road, and it's been a fun group to be a part of. I feel like we've gotten better really almost every weekend.
The level of competition in the Southeastern Conference, how has that added or aided in getting you ready for NCAA tournament play?
We tell our kids this every year. You get your foot into a regional, your competition doesn't go up. It really kind of goes down. You come through 10 weeks of the best super regionals that anybody could offer you, in 2 out of 3 in the SEC. And so when you get into a regional and super regional, at most it'll be the same competition. It's definitely not going to be better competition, and it just prepares you. How good is Tennessee, Coach? Really good. Yeah, they're as good as any team in college baseball, maybe even as good as any team in college baseball history. And it doesn't mean that they can't be beat, but they certainly got the talent offensively and pitching and defense that may get overlooked a little bit. They're as solid as defensive club as there is and there can be as well. Well, one of those L's during the regular season for Tennessee did come to Auburn. There in Knoxville, 8-6 was that final score. But hitting-wise, well, where have you seen the most improvement on this squad, Coach?
Good to go.
I think through the years it's been finding guys to be behind Sonny DeShera in big moments, and I think you've seen Bobby Pierce really step up in that role. You've seen Blake Rambush really be settle into a leadoff role, and I've moved him around just a little bit in the middle of the season, but for the most part, he's been our leadoff hitter, and we got veteran guys like Casey Howell and Brody Moore who've really been around, seen a ton of baseball, and they just steady our lineup out. They're going to put good at bats together throughout, and that's really what a good lineup is usually made of. It's not 1 or 2 hitters. It's trying to get 9 guys out instead of just, hey, I can pitch to these 2 or 3, and then I don't have to worry about the rest of them. What goes into putting a lineup together? What do you look for? At least we all have these broad notions of what your 4-hole hitter wants to be, but even later in the lineup, the 6-hole, 7-hole, what do you look for in a lineup from top to bottom? Every one of them's different, and it just depends on your personnel. Last year, we hit the ball out of the ballpark a ton. I think we lost, I can't remember the exact number, but 50-plus home runs with 4 on the list. You are breaking up on us there, Coach. He's probably still on Lake Martin.
It's under a bridge.
Yeah. Something along those lines. I tell you what, Smokey Mike, let's do this. Let's take a timeout. And are you still there, Coach? Let's take a timeout. We'll try to grab Coach and talk further about Auburn's matchup coming up later on this week against Southeastern Louisiana.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The world champions are back, and you can only hear them right here. Braves baseball is rolling, and Atlanta's ready for a huge 2022 season.
Swung on and struck out towards deep right field, rising through the sky, back to the wall, bombs away.
Tonight, stay up for Atlanta Braves baseball from Chase Field in Phoenix as Ronald Acuna and the Braves take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Braves radio's on the air at 8:25 Eastern, 7:25 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill as we head back out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Hopefully, Coach has got a stronger signal down there at Lake Martin as Coach Gabe Gross. Are you there, Coach?
Yeah, we're going to see if it works better this time.
Okay. Yeah, you sound much better. You were going into the makeup of your lineup and what kind of goes into it. You talked about last year's team of being a better home run hitting squad.
Yeah, it was. We lost a bunch of power, and so, strategically it's a little bit different right now. But basically, you always want a guy who's going to be able to handle some breaking balls in the third hole and four hole. And just because you're going to have runners in scoring position, if you're doing your job early in the 1 and 2 holes with on-base percentage and getting on base and handling that, I think Sonny has done a fantastic job. He's got one of the best eyes I've seen. He's probably been hit tougher than anybody I've ever been around with how hot he was, especially early. And really, you want a guy somewhere in that 6 or 7 hole that's kind of in that same position, because a lot of times you get through those 1 through 4, and then you start building again, and you need somebody with some RBI potential later in the lineup.
Overall, arms-wise, what have you seen out of not just the starters, but the bullpen as well, Coach?
From us?
Yes.
I think our starters, I don't know that we've got just one dominant guy, but I've really liked where Gonzalez has gotten to. His sinker is a pitch that's not a ton of guys throw anymore. And when I was playing, everybody was trying to throw sinkers to get early out, to get deep in games, and now everybody's trying to throw 4-seam fastballs up. And so it's a different looking pitch, and I think he's gotten really good at it. The slide and the changeup also work. And then Trace Bright through the year, really as a junior, has put on so much more weight and strength that he's able to hold his velocity through a game, and his confidence level is high. He's given us quality start after quality start. And then, Mason Barnett has come along. Carson Skipper even started the last game in the SEC tournament and gave us some good innings. And so we've really been able to, I think, get consistency from our starting pitching this year. Even though you probably you don't have a Casey Mize or a Tanner Burns leading in that group. And really maybe the biggest difference on our whole deal is between this year and last year has probably been Blake Burkhalter being able to close games late and being able to slam the door so often for us. He has been a huge, huge deal for us. Chase Alsop has come on big time in the bullpen as well, freshman out of Dothan that is really a flamethrower. I think he touched 99 a couple weeks ago, and so he is learning how to be a pitcher on the job, and he's got the stuff to kind of get away with a little bit of youth while he's learning. But he has just gotten just leaps and bounds better as the year has gone on.
So you mentioned about the sinker. Why is that? Why don't many pitchers throw the sinker? And almost all you hear about is the four-seam fastball.
Think it, let's move it, let's spot it, get quick outs. We want to get deep in games. And now, if you throw 94, 95, they're like, hey, I think we can get you to throw 96, 97 and pitch up in the zone. And that's just, that's just the difference in the game. And that's just where most guys have tried to go.
It's unreal to think about. It's almost, I know it feels a little sacrilege to say it, but I've heard other baseball experts say guys like a Greg Maddux, not sure that they would make it in today's game.
Oh, I think they absolutely would make it in today's game. If you can throw it where you want to throw it and change speed, you can get out. And I don't give a rat's behind how hard you throw it.
Well, also Greg Maddux didn't have to be anywhere near the plate. They called a strike. So
that's right. That's right.
Last time that you've seen Tim Hudson throw from the mound was when, Coach?
Not totally from the mound, but we get pretty close. He and I both will, especially in the fall, and pitch to our guys. So work on two-strike hitting. And let me tell you something, from about 50 feet, he is filthy.
Still filthy.
I have no doubt about that. Tell me a little bit about southeastern Louisiana.
Well, an extremely scrappy bunch of guys. Extremely scrappy. Not going to wow you with plus velocity, but can really pitch. Offensively, man, the word scrappy keeps coming up, but they get hit by pitch. They walk. They steal bases. They've stolen over 100 bases this year. They're going to bunt. They're going to hit and run. They're going to do everything offensively they can do to try to put pressure on you and force you into overtake.
How important is hosting in a regional?
Well, it's obviously easier to win as a host, your home field. But I think just for our program, it's a more important step for our program than the actual, just the singularity of this regional. To knock that off the list of something that we've been trying to do and to bring this program, into national prominence and to be over here and host a regional.
Is this group fairly together, or the pitchers kind of hang out with the pitchers, the hitters hang out with the hitters? Are there a lot of cliques?
No, this group is as together as any we've ever been around, and a lot of that, sometimes it's by design, and sometimes teams just going to do what they're going to do. But after last year and having to deal with COVID, and man, we had to try to keep everybody separated and distanced, and pitchers had to stay in the bullpen, couldn't be in the dugout, but we had to keep separated and all that stuff. It's been a bit of this group get close at the beginning, and we've worked hard to make sure that we did things together always, and it's
Finally, tell me about the rest of the week. How are you going to attack the rest of this week leading up to the regional?
It's been a little bit of trying to make sure that, you take you take a negative and turn it into a positive. We didn't get deep in the SEC tournament, so that really means we had a chance to get our legs underneath us and rest and recuperate. At the same time, we got to stay sharp. We played some inner squads, got one more tomorrow to do live pitching to make sure our hitters are ready to go on Friday. And really, it's just dynamic ball. You just think sometimes you don't have time to review in during the season, and just making sure our guys are fresh, they're hungry, and they're ready to go.
I know I've asked you in the past about Bob Uecker, but after talking with Jeff Francoeur, he gave me a couple of really good Uecker stories, so feel free to give me your most arable Uecker story.
Oh man, Bob Uecker was one of the best guys I've ever been around in my life. Wow, I don't know that I can say any of the stories.
I know they're all truthful.
I tell you this. This is not a great story, but it just gives you a picture of the guy he is. That, when we went on the road in Milwaukee, and I probably haven't went to that get that in his decisions. I've never been a believer that golf had to screw the baseball swing. On most days on the road, I take my clubs, and there was a group of us that still play, and he was one of them. And no matter what group he teed off in, when we got through, we would all eat lunch, and then we'd be spread over 4 or 5 tables, and it would all end with 30 people at the table and himself. And that was an audience, but he loved the Milwaukee Brewers. Brought in salmon with force. He'd go fishing on Lake Michigan and bring salmon to the park all the time, and never took himself too seriously, obviously, and just a great guy to be around.
There is no doubt about that. Well, enjoy it this weekend. Hope you had 10, as they will take on Southeastern Louisiana coming up, and that will actually take place on Friday. First pitch at Plainsman Park is at 6 o'clock. So congratulations again to the Auburn baseball squad. Final 25 minutes belong to you out there at 256-576-4977, 256-576-4977. I mentioned that Commissioner Sankey meeting with the media today, and probably the highlight would be a quote about an 8-team playoff, saying as long as there would not be automatic qualifiers, we would consider an 8-team college football playoff without automatic qualifiers. Of course, some news earlier today as Coach Nick Saban. Yes.
Kinda.
He's a good friend of the program.
Coach Ola Buchanan, TexAgs.com. What evidence did you have that Texas A&M bought its entire recruiting class?
I didn't really say that anybody did anything wrong.
You said they bought their recruiting class.
I didn't say anybody did anything wrong, okay? And I've said everything I'm going to say about this. But, I think that, I guess the point, and I should have never mentioned any individual institutions. I said that before. But, some kind of uniform name, image, and likeness, standard that supports some kind of equitable national competition, I think is really, really important in college athletics, in college football. And we've always had that, whether it's equal scholarships, equal Alston money, whatever it might be. And so that's kind of point one. Point two is we need some kind of transparency in name, image, and likeness deals, to verify that, players are doing what they need to do to have the opportunity to, make money in name, image, and likeness. And believe me, I'm all for players making as much as they can make, okay? But I also think that, we've got to have some uniform, transparent way to do that. Our players did extremely well last year in name, image, and likeness because they got agents, they had representation, they had people who wanted them to actually endorse something for them. And they did very, very well. And it's public record, and you can see how well they did. And I think that also student athletes need some protection from, unfair name, image, and likeness representation or deals. You could have a player, and we've had this happen to us in the past, that thinks he's signing one thing and he signs something else and gives up his freedom of choice in the future as to who represents him. We have no oversight, right now for players, when it comes to this. And, I also think that, boosters, should continue to be precluded from recruiting. including use of, name, image, and likeness offers, prior to, enrollment. So, that's basically, what I have to say about, some of the things that I think we need to do from a college football perspective. This is not about Alabama. This is not about what's best for us. I just hope that we can sort of put some guardrails, on all this. I've read something in the Wall Street Journal that said, what we've done in college football, and I'm paraphrasing here, is put a canoe on top of our SUV to go to the lake, didn't tie it down, took off, and just hoped for the best. And I think that's, kind of where we are right now. And I think it's a great thing for players, to have the opportunity. They've always been able to work. I've always said I've encouraged, this whole name, image, and likeness thing for, players to be able to earn money. So it's just something that I think we need to make sure that we have a uniform way to have equitable competition. It's transparent. We protect the student athlete. And, boosters have never been involved in recruiting, and hopefully, we'll not allow that to happen relative to this circumstance.
Is Jimbo lying when he says that they didn't do anything?
I have no problem with Jimbo. I have no problem with Jimbo at all.
Well, apparently Jimbo has a problem with Nick. All right, yes.
Well, the reporters today do. I mean, and Jimbo obviously does. The way he had a problem with anybody that said anything negative about his program. I can understand him being upset with that. I think he handled it very, very poorly, and I don't know anybody that thinks he handled it the right way.
Olin Buchanan joins us next after our final timeout as we close things down here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
The Trash Pandas are back at Toyota Field on Tuesday, June 7th against the Mississippi Braves. The week's promotions include a Sprocket bobblehead giveaway on Tuesday, a Trash Pandas beach towel giveaway on Wednesday, and a military t-shirt giveaway on Sunday. Get your tickets for all the fun now at TrashPandasBaseball.com. Trash Pandas Baseball. Have a blast. Let's rock it.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s, dropping into the mid and upper 60s through the overnight. We're going to repeat this process as we head into your Wednesday. A mostly sunny sky. Temperatures again climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. An isolated shower might be possible on Wednesday afternoon. Don't hold your breath. Most of us going to stay dry. Better opportunity for rain moves into the Tennessee Valley as we head into your Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl.
Here after a holiday weekend. Hope everyone took time to remember yesterday as we pay honor to those who sacrificed all for us to enjoy our freedoms in this great country. Let's
no question.
head potentially poolside. It's a shame no one's talking about our next guest, and that's Olin Buchanan from TexAgs.com. I think we have the exclusive right behind Feinbaum. How many interviews have you done today, Olin?
I've been on a few radio stations, including our own at TexAgs.
There you go.
3 or 4.
There you go. Are you poolside?
I was until until y'all texted me, and then I thought it would be. I thought there'd be less noise, outside noise, if I came inside. But I'm still looking out at the pool. Cleared up that there's no evidence that that A&M paid for every player in its recruiting class. I think that was cleared up, and it cleared up that he has no problem with Jimbo. He said that himself, but I think Jimbo still has a problem with him. I think that was one of those deals where, going back 2 weeks ago, my audience wanted to hear that question. And quite frankly, I came from College Station to Destin primarily to be able to ask Nick the things I asked him. And
he actually gave the same answer, though, that Coach Fisher gave, which he broke no laws in Texas, was that question when he was asked if he paid any of the recruits. That was his answer.
I've never heard once Jimbo Fisher said we broke no laws in Texas as a response to any questions. He's been very adamant about not only have they not broken any laws, but they haven't even done anything that would be considered against the old NCAA rule.
I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying that was his answer. I heard it.
Well, maybe that was part of a extended answer, but he's also been very clear about that they did not offer any inducement. They did, sure. They told guys,
and nobody's had any evidence of that,
offers.
right? Nobody. I haven't heard any evidence of anybody's presented. Been a lot of talk about it.
Jimbo
no
did
evidence.
come out and say that there was one player that had an NIL deal of the early enrollees, I think is what
yes, but that means he's enrolled.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was and actually I think there's actually two now, because the first one that he was referring to was Connor Wigman, who the new the 5-star freshman quarterback, and he got here and he came up with a T-shirt that says Wig-a-Maggie, and I think, and he's trying to sell that. And then I don't know this for a fact, but I think Evan Stewart, the receiver who's been here since January, I think he might have a deal, though I don't know that it's that for 100%.
So what's your personal opinion on NIL?
Oh, I think it's long overdue. I think kids have, I sit there and I watch coaches getting rich, and that's fine. And I watch athletic directors getting rich, and I guess that's fine too. And staffers getting rich, and everybody's getting rich except the guys that people actually pay to come see. I mean, when was the last time you paid, you bought season tickets to watch an athletic director direct? But you'll pay to go watch the players play. And how is it that there's millions, and maybe in the future, in the not too distant future, billions of dollars being generated just the SEC, and the players were not getting anything beyond, they're getting stuff with their scholarship and their meals and some stipends and all that. But, and I don't think the colleges should have had to pay them, because I think the scholarships and all they got was sufficient. But at the same time, you'd come back and say, but you can't earn money. If Bryce Young wants to go sell or wants to go sign autographs, and people are willing to spend $10 to $20 each for one, why shouldn't he be able to do that?
I've been for it the whole time. The Olympic model. But so, do you believe, not the Texas A&M, do you believe that it's okay to promise NIL with these collectives, not people trying to sell their likeness, promise them money for you to come to their school before you get there? Do you think that's okay?
Well, it depends on who's doing it, isn't it? If it's being done by the school or their boosters, then I'd say no, you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, I agree with that too.
I have no problem with a bunch of guys who are fans contributing to a collective. We do it at TexAgs. TexAgs, we have our own collective where the regular everyday fan, a guy like you and me, can contribute $10, $15, $20, $100 a month, and we have had guys on to do exclusive interviews, and we pay them.
But that's for players on the team, not recruits.
Recruits.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to clarify that.
Yeah, look, the Texas state law, I know y'all probably, it's been repeated so much, I think everybody's becoming an expert at
Slaw
Texas
expert.
state law. The Texas
No,
state law,
I have no problem with the players making money. Never have. In fact, I've preached it for 10 years, that they should be able to sell and market themselves.
It does feel like to me, Olin, that Jimbo's under a lot of pressure. And that's, I guess, the other part of this story that's being underreported, that, I heard you talking to Feinbaum about $75 million contract and all that, but it does feel like the pressure is starting to mount on Jimbo.
Really? Because I don't get that at all. I don't think he has any pressure. No, and I'll tell you why. I don't think he has any pressure on him because, well, first of all, he's adored in College Station. But mainly, he's got a guaranteed $90 million deal for he still has 9 years on it. I don't know about you, but if I know I've got $81 million coming, whether I get fired or not, I'm not feeling a lot of pressure.
Well, the main reason I go there is I remember the ceremony of the national championship trophy that had the 2-0 and then the blank next to that 2-0 given to him by that alumni association.
No, it was given to him by John Sharp, the chancellor of Texas A&M, who is he's a politician, and he does things that he thinks that people want to see. And I think if you were able to survey 1,000 Aggies, 999 would have groaned at that. But it was supposedly made as a just a show of faith. But I don't think most people that follow A&M were on board with that action. They thought it was kind of cheesy as well.
It's kind of burning the cornbread, right? What we used to say.
We just kind of thought we just said it was silly.
All right, fair enough. Well, Olin, I appreciate the time, sir. Go back to what kind of
go back outside, put some sun sunscreen on.
Go enjoy that pool side, and we'll suffer up here in North Alabama.
Yeah, they got a reception going right now with a lot of shrimp and a lot of lobster. I think I just might have to walk over and pick through it.
Please do. Don't let us stop you. Olin, thank you so much for hopping on, sir.
You bet. My pleasure.
That's Olin Buchanan.
He did give the same answer, though. I think that was on purpose, right? No statement doesn't do anything.
That's TexAgs.com for Olin.
Am I crazy or am I right? You remember the answer too, right?
Yeah.
Why does nobody talk about that? He didn't answer the question. Jimbo didn't answer the direct question that was asked to him. Did y'all pay any players? He said, quote, unquote, we didn't break any laws in Texas.
So magically, from the early enrollees, it's gone up from one recruit to two recruits now.
Well, I mean, if they're enrolled and they
then that's fair game.
Yeah.
It's fair game.
But history will tell the end of the story, right?
You think?
Yes. Oh, yeah. People have to file tax returns, Steve.
Yeah,
right?
Well,
if they don't,
that's another issue.
That's a totally another issue. You can't be put in prison for not paying your taxes. You know that, right? They put you in prison for not doing your tax return. There's a little, yeah. So you can owe them all the money, and they can go after your assets now.
So eventually, we will know.
Yes.
Eventually.
Eventually.
Some decade.
If everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I don't think that people send out 1099s on some of that money. But
just stuff that pops up in the mailbox.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this?
Yes, exactly.
Bubba's used car lot. Anyway, coming up next, you'll hear more from Paul Feinbaum. And then we will join the Atlanta Braves radio network as the Braves are in Arizona taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hopefully the Braves can bounce back after a tough one last night, losing 6-2. And I'm just going to pretend I did not see a certain first baseman drop a double play ball that turned around and turned into a three-run rally, I think, for the Diamondbacks on the very next hitter. It could have been an inning-ending double play. Maybe the Braves can just don the Dodger uniforms because the Diamondbacks are 2-8 this year against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, I'll say this. I think the biggest mistake, and I thought it was then, was not signing your leader in the clubhouse.
Freddie.
That was a mistake. I know they went youth.
Younger.
Younger. But leadership's a huge thing. And there's no question he was the leader of that team. And you can tell they're lacking the leadership with the way they're playing right now.
Braves baseball is going to eat into a little bit of us tomorrow. We will join you right after the final out of the game. 2:40 first pitch tomorrow afternoon. Kyle Wright, North Alabama's own, is on the mound for the Braves. He is 4-3 with a 2.68 ERA. Tonight it's the old crafty veteran of Charlie Morton with an ERA of 5.28. Come on, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Thank you to Olin Buchanan. Thank you to Gabe Gross. And also thank you to Coach Houston Nutt. We will talk to you tomorrow. And thank you to Smokey Mike. I imagine we will get our full allotment of Tennessee Vol baseball as the week continues from Smokey Mike. Come on by here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Have a good night, everybody.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. All the press conferences.
It's our mental energy. I would say spend less time complaining about, when I was going to get an opportunity. Just spend more time training and working towards.
Plus, all of the rat poison is served up right here.
It's yummy.
On 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Razorbacks are hard to stop. War Eagles soaring in the wind.
Let me talk, Danny. Okay, go.
Tigers rocking in Missoula. Wildcats are grinning too. Talk about the tide that's rolling in. The weekend's full of surprises. From big upsets to robberies. On the farm, I'm sure heads are gonna roll. If they don't get the best of me, we'll call for. Yeah, it makes sense of it all. Yeah, call for.
Go off, I'm on the show. It's not Jerry Springer, right?
And welcome back. We are here for the final hour. Billy Napier will be here shortly. He's just getting out of a meeting, and then John Calipari is expected, Coach Drink, and Coach Pittman as we are wrapping it up. We'll do it again tomorrow with a number of other guests, including some of the biggest names in the industry, as well as the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, Greg Sankey. Let's take some calls here. And Karen is in Key Largo. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
We are doing great.
I was hoping you'd be sitting up there in a Speedo now. I'm a little disappointed.
I've got one on underneath. You just can't see it.
Well, I'm calling to weigh in on the Jimbo Saban situation, and as a Jimbo super fan, full disclosure. So, I'm actually very appreciative of Coach Saban and his comments. He has managed to even further cement a very large fan base, booster base, NIL collective, football team, etc. So I think we should just all thank Nick, hope that he does something like that again, and I hope that it comes back to haunt him on October 8th.
How interesting.
I mean,
yeah,
he's got us united.
I don't think these type of things will have any impact, Karen. But you don't know. Jimbo. Jimbo really has nothing to lose. He picked. He didn't start this. He said what he did, and you can't take those things back without a lot of credibility. And quite frankly, his fan base is behind him. And Saban's the one that that really was.
I'd have more respect for him if he's just like, I said it and I meant it. Next question. But all this backtracking and panty wasting around.
Yeah, but you know what that is though, Karen. We watch that every night on the news from Washington. Most people won't admit to what they said yesterday, even though nobody was trying. They were saying it of their own free will. Yeah, I think Saban had to look at this and go, how do I figure out a way out of it? Jimbo did not offer him an off-ramp. The best way to get out of this was for Jimbo. For Jimbo to say, I talked to Coach Saban, and I lost my cool, and he lost his, but Jimbo said, no way, forget it. And so Saban's kind of stuck, either doubling down, which he does not want to do, or to do what he did.
I want him to.
Yeah, so it's a real problem.
Well, it's highly entertaining, and we need stuff like this, when it's the non-playing portion of the season. We need a little entertainment, so we sure got it. But, I do appreciate you, Coach Saban, all you Bama listeners. We appreciate it. And it's opened our wallets and our hearts, just so you know. Giggle, Paul, I got to go.
Hey, thank you very much. So nice of you to call. How about Bill up next in Florida? Hey, Bill, you're on the air. Hey, Bill. I don't hear Bill. Yeah, go ahead, Bill. You're on the air.
You hear me?
Barely, but go ahead. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Pensacola. Got some solutions that may be interested in here today on some of the topics. NIL, if I remember correctly, Mike Leach had an NIL idea last year at Media Days that said, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. Go right ahead.
Okay. Mike Leach had an idea that said set an amount, put in a trust for the students, and they get it upon graduation. Now, that would involve these clauses. And once they have an NIA deal, you're familiar with a no-compete clause. That's been around for a bajillion years. Put a no-compete clause there. And the only time the no-compete clause can be revoked is if the student graduates from the university and has the eligibility left, A, or B, if the head coach will.
Yeah, Bill, let me jump in here, and let me continue this. I apologize for doing this, but Coach Napier has arrived, and he was at a meeting, and he had to wait for it to break. But we are delighted to welcome Coach Billy Napier to our set here. And, Coach, I hope nothing important was going on at that meeting, but it's we all would like to know what's been going on at these meetings all day. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's going great. I'm just the rookie in the room, right? So try to keep it quick and concise and do a lot of listening. But certainly a unique time to be in those meetings for sure.
Yeah, and listen, I realize there's a brotherhood, and we're here to learn more about what happens on the field than off the field. But you're in there with a lot of people you know, some maybe you don't know very well. What's it like, and is that realization, which I'm sure keeps coming to you, that you are now at the pinnacle of your profession?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, very impressed. I think Sankey obviously is a phenomenal leader. Certainly is years and years ahead of his decision-making, his thought process. Very impressed with overall, his organizational skills, his leadership. And then, got some iconic people in the room, right? Some very accomplished people in the room. So, for a guy like me, there's a lot to be learned, and certainly have taken that approach.
Your resume is well known. We've talked about it countless times here. And in relation to Coach Saban, everyone here has been talking about what happened 2 weeks ago. And I know it's awkward when they're your colleagues, and one is somebody who